Some people just want to watch world fun.
Jeff nails another draft day.
Nailed
Makes
it.
top 5 has 98.
I got one more.
Just loves him some Kevin James.
Fucking Kevin James.
It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's the history of bad. That's right. It's the history of bad ideas. Podcast.
Please note that any comments, jokes, questions, maybe anything that we say on the history of bad ideas is all in good fun. And remember, we insult everybody. Our thoughts, opinions, questions, anything else, actions that we do on the show do not reflect any of our employers, organizations, advertisers, or anyone else that is associated with the history of bad ideas. And remember, at the end of the day, it's just a joke. Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 384. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And nope, Jim. No intern. Intern Gary's here this week, though. And as of now, no Blake. He's the mystery man of the hour. So we do have Scab Jeff with us this week. Welcome, Scab.
Thank you.
Audio sounds much better this week. Much better. I don't know from the last time. I don't know. Anyways.
You weren't even here the last time it was on.
I wasn't. I was not here. So, birthdays. Anyways. So, everybody, it's just us three so far. We're going to make it fun. It might even turn into a wild card episode later on. I'm not sure. Our News of the Geek might be spoiled. I'm not sure. Getting into it, Jeff. First off, Jeff, did you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Okay, we're both named Jeff.
You're
So I'm
not
not
Scab Jeff. You're Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Scab is Scab. You know what? Fuck you, Jeff. Scab, have you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I have not. No,
Get out.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting to do it till I'm watching something else on Peacock now, and I'll get there.
What are you watching on Peacock?
I've never seen Modern Family, so I'm almost through the whole series.
Okay, Falcon and Winter Soldier's better than that.
I hope you like Modern Family if you're going through the whole series, right?
I'm going through the whole series because I think that it's a pop culture thing that I should know every detail about, and yeah, I kind of like it.
Okay.
I will say the last 2 seasons are garbage.
You could tell that the quality of it kind of goes down the further it's with any show that goes more than 2 or 3 seasons, you can tell that the characters all become caricatures of themselves.
Yes.
And it's the same with Modern Family, yes.
I think the last season, my wife and I almost turned it off after, I think they did 10 seasons or 11, whatever. The 2 seasons...
11.
Is 11? Okay. Seasons 9 and 10, we almost had to scrap it. Like, it was rough. Season 11 was not good, but it was better than the 2 previous seasons, and it was a nice wrap up enough that I'm like, okay, I'll give it some leniency because I've been watching it for 11 years. I'm going to not grade it as hard.
I did cry during season 11 when, spoilers, the guy from
Phil's dad.
Yeah. What's his name?
Fred Willard died.
Fred Willard. Yeah.
That was a rough one.
I cried.
Yeah. Personally, I wish they would have done... My thought was that they were going to have Ed O'Neill's character die in the season premiere of season 11, and then the rest of the season was like the funeral and like a look back on the last year of his life. That's what I would have liked to have seen. Maybe a little too dark, but I would have liked to have seen that.
Is it just me, or is the show kind of a reboot of Married with Children? Because they have the daughter who's the slutty whoever. They have the son who's kind of the the not quite smart enough to be there person. It has Ed O'Neill as the patriarch.
You could say it's an upper class version of Married with Children. How about that? I could see that.
It's way better than Married with Children, but Jen just started watching Married with Children, and I'm like, I can see a lot of parallels here.
I will say Claire is not as stupid as Kelly is.
No, he wasn't talking about Kelly, Claire being Kelly. I think he was talking about. Oh, were you?
Yeah, he was. He said the daughter.
No. I was talking about the older daughter who.
Claire's daughter, the oldest one. That has the twins. The twins.
Oh, well, yeah, she was kind of ditzy. Not as dumb as Kelly, though, but yeah, okay.
I know we've talked about this before, but since Scab doesn't listen, did you know who was supposed to play Ed O'Neill's role as the patriarch?
It's always Tom Selleck, so I'm going to go Tom Selleck.
Vin Diesel. It's Vin Diesel. No, it's Craig T. Nelson. And he did the role, like they were talking to him, and I guess he wanted too much money. And they're like, we can't pay you that much money. And then he was kind of like going back and forth on if he wanted to do it. So then Ed O'Neill read, and they loved Ed O'Neill, and Craig T. Nelson was still deciding. They're like, don't worry about it. We got Ed O'Neill. Sorry, Craig. And so Craig T. Nelson missed out because of it.
And the defense of all of that, until this moment, I didn't realize that Ed O'Neill and Craig T. Nelson were different people.
One was a shoe salesman, one was a coach. It's not difficult.
I thought that Ed Bundy was Coach from Coach until you just said that. I'm like, wait a second.
They said Craig T. Nelson, one of the reasons he was going back and forth was not only money, but he also just played the patriarch of a family with Parenthood. So he didn't know if he wanted to jump into like being the patriarch again of it.
Let's see. Wasn't Parenthood still on when Married with Children started?
You mean Modern Family?
Or Modern Family, yeah.
I can check. We'll check that.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but...
Computer, when did Parenthood start? So I thought that was interesting that they were looking at Craig T. Nelson. Well, was Craig Nelson even in much of Parenthood the last season? I never saw it. My wife loved it. Parenthood was through 2010. Let's see when Modern Family was. Modern Family.
It ended last year.
Modern Family was 2009. So I bet you they probably could have overlapped. 2020. Yeah. I
thought Parenthood was more recent than that.
You know what? I might be wrong. Hold on. You know what? Parenthood might actually start it in 2010. My bad.
And I really thought Parenthood was Steve Martin.
Okay, I stand.
He was in the movie.
He was in the movie, yeah.
They made a television show very loosely based off the movie, as in it was a family with adult kids.
I stand corrected. We're right until proven wrong. Craig T. Nelson he held out for more money for Modern Family, and then the same thing happened. They did Ed O'Neill, and they said, forget you, Craig T. Nelson. Then he did Parenthood because he missed out on Modern Family.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense.
Sorry, my bad about that. My bad. I knew it was in there that he wanted to do one or something happened like that. So, Oh my goodness, Blake's going to be on in 5 minutes.
And now I really want to see a picture of Craig T. Nelson next
to Ed O'Neill. I don't know. Let's see.
Uh-oh. Everybody froze.
Oh, there we go. You're back there, Jeff. How you doing, Scab?
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Let's see here. So, Jeff, did you finish Winter Soldier?
I did.
And what are your thoughts on it?
I kind of liked the big speech that Sam gave at the end, pretty much saying, this is the reason we even made the show in the first place.
Yes. Very well done.
Liked that. I am still 50-50 on the fence if I liked what they did with Sharon. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more to that later on. I'm trying to speak in vagueness since Jeff hasn't seen it yet.
Okay, fine. I'll do it this way. Secret Invasion solves that problem.
Oh, yeah, I don't think... I could be wrong. I don't think that's how they will...
I hope not. I hope
solve
not.
that.
Who was she talking to on the phone at the end? I don't know. I will say the whole time, my kids did not like Falcon's new uniform at the end, costume at the end. None of my kids did. It's like, what? That's a badass uniform.
But he's no longer Falcon.
I know, but I was trying to be
So he can't have... Well, he took his earphones off, so...
Oh, okay, he can't hear that. Okay, good. Yeah, I love that outfit. I love that costume. I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was great.
I liked his speech at the end. Throughout the whole thing, I liked that it was 6 episodes. I really enjoyed that. Blake's on.
There's Blake.
Hey, Blake.
Hello.
We're talking Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Blake.
Hey!
Oh, wait. I missed my cue.
So,
Only by
How
a
many
couple
minutes late am I in?
you're just a couple minutes late. About 5 minutes.
I see we have a scab intern today.
We do. Scab Jeff intern. Scab intern Jeff.
Hey.
I like that one better. Scab intern
Hey,
Jeff.
Scab Jeff intern. How are you?
I'm
anything
doing all right.
at
I
once.
had taken off. I had taken off my headset so that I didn't hear the spoilers about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh,
Well, you're going to find some here in a second. I'll do this for those people with video. I'll do this when we're done. So give me like five minutes here, Scab.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let's
Okay.
do it.
So we were talking
Let's do
about
it to it. I need 2 hours though. Can you
Shut
allot
up,
me
Blake.
2 hours?
Listen.
You got 2 minutes.
But hold on, before you get to it.
All right, Jason, go. Well,
Okay,
yeah, please.
Hold on.
I'm holding on.
Blake is the only one that's been in the military.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Speaking of military, happy birthday to the Dit Man.
Dit Man, happy birthday.
Although he was in the Air Force, we really don't consider that a military. But anyways, go ahead.
Anyways, I thought as the series went on, they did a hell of a job with PTSD with the soldiers. That whole series was about PTSD, basically. For not Karen. Who's that one? Who's the main bad guy? Carly.
Yeah.
She had a different form of it, but she was there. Bucky, Falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon. Sam did a good job because he was a therapist, or he helped people.
Yeah, there was an underlying theme of mental health issues throughout the whole series.
Bradley.
And they did kind of like stealthily put that in there and addressing it without making you realize it's something like the Hurt Locker or something,
It was. I thought that was.
Oh, Anthony Mackie, I see what you did there.
I thought they did a tremendous job with that as an underlying issue.
Yeah.
I thought that was
and guilt. A lot of with guilt too.
Yeah. And I think the more I'm going to watch it again, and I think the next time I watch it, I'm going to appreciate it even more, those little things. I thought the series got better as the episodes went on. And I liked Wyatt Russell. I hated him. Not so much that I was threatening people online because people were crazy, but
you're not supposed to hate him. He's kind of an anti-hero, but
at the end,
it's like the first quarterback after Peyton Manning.
Yes, Andrew Luck.
The first quarterback that's going to be after Tom Brady. For if I can simplify it. You're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy. They're never going to live up to those expectations. And I think for Wyatt Russell to take on that role was pretty brave because he's going people are going to dislike you.
Now they said the fan base is liking him after the series. Shocker! Maybe you should have waited for the whole freaking series to be done.
Well, that's
correct.
Because he's not Captain America anymore.
Right. And you had Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson. Mm-hmm. Hey, Uncle Sam. Sam, come to grips and terms with, his loss and his dealings with Captain America. And then, same thing with Sebastian Stan, as you mentioned, not as much as PTSD, but also, PTSD and his guilt.
And brainwashing.
Making, it's kind of hard not to feel personally responsible for all those people when, he did.
I agree with Jeff. I loved I love Sam's speech at the end. Was like, no, you actually do have the fucking power, you piece of shit politician. You have the power. And it's like, the whole time, the whole last episode with Wyatt Russell's character, I kept looking at my son. We're watching, and I'm like, it's coming. Here he comes. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And he's like, who's he going to become? And I was like, I can't tell you. It's just going to be awesome. I know it's going to happen. And then, first off, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in there. I didn't see her coming.
Elaine. Yeah. Who'd have thought Elaine was evil?
And then
I saw Veep. That's not a surprise.
And then, when he comes out...
if she started dancing, I would have loved it.
Tiny kicks. Little kicks.
Yeah.
When he came out as U.S. agent, I was jumping up and down because I like U.S. agent in the comics. He's dumb, but I like him. And my son's like, that's a pretty cool costume. And I was like, see? I was like, this guy's awesome. The rumor is, Jeff, you will know this, she's making the Thunderbolts.
I heard.
I thought it was Dark Avengers.
It could be Dark Avengers, too, maybe. Because Thunderbolt Ross could make Thunderbolts technically, I guess. It could be the Dark Avengers. I could see that. Because
honestly, the Thunderbolts were made by Baron Zemo, so I don't know how they're going to actually do it.
I love Baron
Zemo. It took me a moment to realize what happened to the remaining Flag Smasher super soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Almost done, Jeff. Almost done.
And I was looking at the. I was looking at the chauffeur in the car. I'm like, wait a minute, who the fuck was he? And then they cut to Zemo. I'm like, oh, that's Zemo's butler.
I want his own series. The Baron,
kind of like an evil Alfred.
Yeah, I want Baron Zemo's own series. That's all I want. He is awesome.
Yeah,
he is awesome.
Well, he's obviously going to play a role in the MCU 4, right? I mean, and the next stage.
I was jumping up and down when he put the mask on, Jeff, and then he had the fur coat because it's like the comics. Yeah. I was like, yes! All he needs is a pink leotard.
They made a goofy-looking costume. I like how they're actually able to take inspiration from their comic costume and make it at least decent.
And he's got PTSD issues, too. With his country and his family. So So Blake, overall, which one did you like, WandaVision or this?
Ooh, I liked them both. To tell you the truth, I probably would rank WandaVision over this more because it was a different overall concept of entertainment. But they're both equally good. I did like. Bucky and Sam's bickering relationship in the beginning. Even though they really didn't hate each other, but that they were playing off of each other as if they didn't like each other. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, they're barbecuing and liking each other. I'm like, I would have liked to, have maintain the teasing. I can't stand you. You're not my partner.
It's going to happen once Bucky starts banging his sister, Sam's sister. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. I love that.
Yeah.
It was a great show. We were able to binge watch it. It was good.
I'm just concerned about Erin Kellyman's future in movies.
Who?
I think she's typecast now.
Who?
Carly.
Oh, Carly.
Yeah, Carly. Yeah. The leader of the Flag Smashers. Because she was in the gang in the Han Solo prequel.
Oh, right.
These are horrible people and the leader, and then it turns out, well, they're not really horrible. They're, fighting for a cause. Oh my God, these Flag Smashers, they're horrible people, and the leader, oh my God. Well, they're not really bad. They're fighting for a cause.
So she's going to be typecast as a freedom fighter.
I didn't even realize she was in Solo.
With some gray zone.
Nice catch,
not completely good, not completely bad, but following what she does because she believes it. So, but I do like how a lot of this dealt with gray area.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a lot of gray area in the world. It's not always black and white, or good and evil, which it can be. But I do like Sam's working with her, and using his experiences and his knowledge in helping people recover, soldiers and stuff, people recover from traumatic events, and which is why Steve picked him in the first place, because it's almost like, hey, are you worthy of picking up Mjolnir, kind of deal? Are you worthy of the shield? And he was, and he tried not to completely go out and beat the shit out of bad guys. He worked his way in trying to resolve everything in a peaceful manner, or at least to de-escalate. And you're right, his speech at the end was pretty awesome. And I like the fact that, I almost felt like that was a speech, for almost, modern day Americans, not seeing eye to eye and political, bullshit of, don't listen, they're wrong, they lie, we're right, they're wrong, that kind of stuff. And I kind of liked it. I almost would take that speech and go give it at schools.
Let me bring Jeff or Scab Jeff in.
Oh, did we go over my 2-minute limit?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Only by about 8 minutes.
Sure. No, I could still talk for 2 hours.
You know what?
So
I will say this. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. When Loki comes out, Blake, we are going to.
But I'm not a big Loki guy.
No. Listen up, though. Listen up. When Loki comes out, we are going to watch it, and then we are going to talk about Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier, and Loki, and we'll do a special episode of just the Disney Plus TV series of the Marvel ones. I think
that's true.
We could talk, because I could talk Winter Soldier a lot, because we just finished watching it. We binge watched the last 3 episodes, and it was just so damn good. It really is.
You're right. I like WandaVision because it came from a different perspective, and it came from a different entertainment, kickoff, and made it kind of, it was more like of a mystery thing and how it turns out. And then, Falcon and Winter Soldier was more of the dichotomy between people and good and evil. And, that's all I'm going to say, because now I know that, Scab Jeff is back. I mean, it's not like the best actor award at the end of the Oscars or anything.
Scab, did you watch WandaVision?
Yeah,
right?
Jeff, I told everybody if we were bringing you on, we'd have to save you for last to try and get that Oscar effect.
You know what?
But,
I did see WandaVision. I saw the whole thing.
And you liked it, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
I thought it was great. I think it was a great concept. It wasn't a straight up superhero thing. It was but it was cool. They're both good.
My oldest is wants to watch it. And after we got to Winter Soldier, he wants to watch it. So, okay. So Scab, we're done talking spoilers. You're safe. You're safe now. The good news is we're not going to screw you over like Chadwick Boseman got screwed over. I'm just saying that right now.
He didn't get screwed over.
Fuck Anthony Hopkins. Is that the one that won it? Him or De Niro? I always forget who's. They all look alike. De Niro and Hopkins.
I think it was Anthony Hopkins' best performance of his career, and he's had some good performances in his career.
Him doing the Oscars or him in the movie?
In the Oscars.
Oh, okay.
Because he wasn't there.
Yeah.
They just cut it off at the end without any kind of speech or whatever. They were like, oh no, we thought Chadwick Boseman was going to win, so I'm not sure what we're going to do here at the end.
And see you later.
You would think that somebody knows, from the accounting staff knows. You'd think they would warn them ahead of time about, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves in celebrating a potential winner before they've actually won.
No. That's never happened before. Did it?
I didn't lose any money on Sunday because of Anthony Hopkins winning, because I put him on my sheet.
Oh, you bet on Anthony?
I did.
Well, this is going to be a very.
He chose.
in a little bit here, we'll do that. It's going to be a very interesting Oscar recap because I didn't watch any of the Oscars.
Or any of the movies that were up for Oscar.
Well, Chadwick, I'll have to rely on, the movie star, advisor to the movie stars there, Scab Jeff. Chadwick Boseman was in, what was it, like Miss Manny's Ass or something?
It was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which was not a good movie.
Yeah, and that was what I was going to ask. I know that he, made a lot of hearts with Black Panther, and he did pass away, and it's really sad. But was that performance worthy of a Best Oscar winner?
I'm not even sure it was worthy of a Best Actor nomination.
Wow.
It was a stage play made into a movie, and it looked like a stage play made into a movie. So it was all claustrophobic, like everything was like just a bunch of dialogue while you're sitting there, and his character may have been the one with the most lines, or maybe even the second or third. So he might not have even been the best actor or the main actor in the movie, and he was not as good as the guy from Sound of Metal. He was not anywhere near as good as Anthony Hopkins, so I'm glad that it went the way it went.
So it was probably a product of two things. One, they didn't have a lot of content for the past 12 months because of the Rona, and two, probably because he passed away and was posthumous, and a lot of people liked him, so they said, okay.
My question is for Scab, since you are the film critic and the Oscar guy. Was his performance better, Chadwick's, better than Heath Ledger's in The Dark Knight?
Not even close.
I'm just asking.
But I really like Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight.
Okay, I'm just asking. So, we might as well do this real quick here, since obviously Jeff's on here. Actually, you know what? We'll do the Twitter poll of the week, then we'll get to his Oscar recap real quick. Twitter poll of the week. You can find us at Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter and the History of Bad Ideas Facebook page. Give us a like and give us a follow and review us. Nobody's eating on this episode, so give us 5 stars.
I am eating.
Or 4. Based on the guest hosts so far, who should be the next host of Jeopardy? We had Ken Jennings, Aaron Rodgers, Katie Couric, and Mike Richards, not from Seinfeld. Dr. Oz can
Which
go.
Mike Richards is that?
He's one of the producers.
He's a producer of Jeopardy and other game shows.
I think he does some of the questions, doesn't he?
I don't know if he's a writer, but
I thought he had something to do with it.
I think they said he pretty much did it because they couldn't get anybody to, especially with COVID protocols, they couldn't get any celebrity guest host there the weeks that they were going to be, or the weekdays they were going to be recording those episodes. So he stepped in. I will say, of the 4 you have listed there, Mike Richards did the best.
You know what? I agree with you. My wife and I have been watching this a lot, and I agree with you. Fuck Dr. Oz. No, fuck him. He shouldn't even been on there as a guest host. Screw him. That fucking snake.
I only saw one episode with Ken Jennings, and I thought that he did very, very well.
Yeah.
But I've seen one episode since Alex Trebek, so
I think Ken Jennings' issue is that he's a punchable face, so I don't know if people want to see him every week.
With me, with Ken Jennings, it's just the tone of his voice, like the voice tonal quality, just isn't an MC voice. He himself did not do a bad job, but listening to his voice read all those questions for a half hour every day, I don't know.
Well, in last place, I'm sorry.
Can I also say I'm really disappointed that they didn't even bring in any of the SNL iconic actors to come in and host as a character, like Will Ferrell as Alex Trebek. I mean, that would have been an awesome opportunity. Or what's his name is Sean Connery.
Daryl Hammond.
Yeah, Daryl Hammond is Sean Connery.
No, Norm Macdonald is Burt Reynolds.
Jeopardy.
Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, or Turd Ferguson hosting. I don't understand why they didn't capitalize on that.
And you could have done one episode. You don't even have to do a whole week of those guys. Just do one episode of Turd Ferguson, one episode of Daryl Hammond's character, one episode of,
or it could have been one episode where they each came in and did a third of the third of the show as a joke. Like, hey, so in the fired, we have his replacement.
The very first Celebrity Jeopardy skit that they did, Daryl Hammond played Alex Trebek.
Yes, he did.
And there was no Sean Connery.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here we go. 13% disagree with me and Jeff. Mike Richards, 13%.
Probably probably the most qualified to host Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Last place.
Katie Couric was 16%. I wasn't too sold on her.
Yeah.
She was okay. And winning 41% to 30%. These stats just went up right before we came on the air. Ken Jennings beating Aaron Rodgers. You know what? I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I think he's an idiot and a jerk. But I actually kind of liked him being the host. I had no issue with it. And he said that he could do it with his football schedule.
Yeah, he may have a future in game show hosting.
Yeah. He wasn't terrible, but I didn't think he was better than Dr. Oz.
Well, yeah, they said he was pleasantly good at it.
I will say, now for this last week and a half so far with Anderson Cooper, I think he is doing a stellar job, better than everybody else so far.
I don't know if I can get into Cooper. Like, I don't have a problem with him, but I'm not too sold on him as the host yet.
I mean, I just think his performance and his interaction and talking and whatnot is better than the 7 before him or 6 or whatever before him.
LeVar Burton is being on future ones. Savannah Guthrie from Today Host. Neurosurgeon and CNN medical advisor Dr. Sanjay Gupta. 60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker. And actress Mayim Bialik, or however you say it. Bialik, yes.
Mayim, yes.
And then LeVar Burton is another one.
Unfortunately, so is Joe Buck.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. Robin Roberts is going to be doing a stint.
Okay.
Our top 5 should have been the top 5 people that you'd like to see host Jeopardy.
We
did that a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That's what I get for never watching.
That's it.
Damn you.
Yeah, watching our podcast.
Well, we are on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can find YouTube.
There you go.
And next week, I'll have the ratings for each host. I'm waiting for the Anderson Cooper ratings to come out, and Aaron Rodgers ratings to come out. So, I have the other one.
I would like to see the Mehmet Oz ratings, because I just know a bunch of fan sites were talking about boycotting his weeks.
He was the lowest. Spoilers. Unless Anderson Cooper tanks, which I don't think it's going to. So I think, the fake Dr. Oz is going to be the lowest. Let's see here. For Oscars, before we get into listener feedback here, since you know what? Fuck it, because they didn't care about it going last. Scab Jeff, let's talk about this. First off, I heard your future wife actually beat you in the Oscar competition this year.
I think we were down to like the last 5, and she hadn't missed a single one.
Jeez.
Wow.
I might have her on the next year. You might be out of job.
She would have come on tonight, but I beat her in Smash Up yesterday, and she got grumpy about that.
Oh. Do you have the Marvel Smash Up? Did you get that?
I don't.
I
don't.
She still needs to work on her trivia, though.
Let's see here. We had Best Picture, Sound of Metal, Nomadland, Mank, Minari, Promising Young Woman, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. You had The Trial of the Chicago 7, didn't you?
No.
Oh, not 2 days ago, but I don't remember what I picked on the podcast a couple days.
I've got the list here of your picks from 2 weeks ago. Jason listened, he would have known. But
no, I didn't
listen when he wasn't on.
I wasn't.
But, so Jason only listens when he's on the podcast.
I don't even listen. Just
like me.
I did enough.
You picked.
Mm-hmm.
You picked Nomadland to win,
and that's what won. Did. Yep. So congratulations.
That might have been the only one I got.
Best actor, Hopkins, Riz Ahmed from Jurassic World, Stephen Yen, Chadwick Boseman, and Gary Oldman. Who did he pick, Jeff?
Oh, I'm just your go-to for Riz Ahmed is Jurassic World.
Yep.
Not Rogue One.
No. I'm going Jurassic World.
He picked Chadwick Boseman.
And who won?
Now, he didn't say Chadwick Boseman should win, but he did say he probably would, and that's why
the 90-year-old guy that should go to the side, and they wonder why the ratings are down. Anthony
he was
Hopkins.
Only 83. Jeez,
Whatever.
I can't believe you're making him older than he is.
Is he the oldest Best Actor winner? Did he beat
by
Jack
1 year?
Palance?
Yes.
He beat Palance?
No, he beat Fonda.
Oh God, jeez, oh Pete.
Wow, that damn Henry Fonda. Jeez.
Hey Blake.
I thought you meant Jane.
Hey Blake, you want to go down to the mall? I heard they got the new Anthony Hopkins movie. That guy's killer, man. Yeah, he's going to bring all the young people to the movies.
Well, if those are the type of movies you want to watch that will bring people like that to the movies, I don't want to work at that movie theater.
I'm just saying Anthony Hopkins' milkshake is not bringing anybody to the yard. That's all I'm saying. That's
Anthony Hopkins' acting performances do.
No.
He brings people to see. Otherwise, people wouldn't. I mean, he's done some bad movies because he's pretty much admitted, if you pay me enough, I'll do any movie you want.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'd bang Anthony Hopkins, and I'd let him bang me.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You heard him.
Okay. Best Actress, Frances McDormand, Andrea Day, Vanessa Kirby, Carey Mulligan, and Viola Davis. I love Viola Davis. The winner, well, who did he pick, Jeff?
She didn't. He picked Carey Mulligan.
And Jeff, Scab, who won?
I don't even remember.
Frances McDormand.
I drank a lot.
Did she deserve it? She
did not deserve it. She did better than I could have done in the same role.
Did she do better than Patricia Arquette in Boyhood?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Did she do better than Carey Mulligan?
Probably.
Okay, because that's who you had picked. So
yeah, but I thought that's where they'd give Promising Young Woman, which I thought was a terrible movie, but it got all this hype, and it was just about some girl who'd been date raped so much, just coming back and deciding to get her revenge on guys, and she didn't even do it well.
Is it like I Spit on Your Grave?
Yeah. I think
cleaner version.
Best Supporting Actress? Oh, well, Nelly. Glenn Close. How the fuck is she up for Best Actress, Supporting Actress, and for a Razzie Award? Same year.
Because she knows how to do the butt.
I explained that. I explained that a couple of weeks ago. If you ever listen to the shows that you're not
on. Maria Bakalov for Borat.
Bacalao.
That's it. Olivia Colman. Is that Olivia Colman who was in Fringe? I don't think so. Amanda Seyfried.
In Rushmore.
It's the Olivia Colman that was in what was that British TV show?
Fawlty Towers?
God damn it. No.
Monty Python?
Detective one?
The detective one with Dr. Google. Yeah, thank you.
Broadchurch.
Grace Point was the only thing coming to mind, which was the U.S. adaptation, and she wasn't in the U.S. adaptation.
As soon as you said British, I knew what it was. I just had to keep going because I love Broadchurch. Anyways, and Yun Yu Jung, is that correct? Did I say it right?
Exactly right. That was perfect. I don't think she could say it any better than that, Jason.
Okay, smart ass. Get your wife in here. I'd rather talk to her. She won.
Show disclaimer, Jason is really white.
Or just really dumb. There's a difference. Who did he pick, Jeff?
He chose Maria Bakalova.
Oh, that was a bad choice.
That was a bad choice, Jeff. What the hell's wrong with you? I didn't even see.
Well, that's who won the Golden Globe.
Okay, let's just say this: that fucking Mars movie won Best Comedy at the Golden Globes. I would not base anything on the Golden Globes right now. What was that Matt Damon movie? Rescue of Mars or Mars?
Over the Moon?
It was The Martian.
Don't you dare pick on Over the Moon. Don't you dare. Best Director, Chloe Zhao, Thomas Vinterberg, David Fincher, Emerald Fennella, and Lee Isaac Chung. Chloe Zhao won for Nomadland. Which one did you pick? Which one did he pick?
He picked Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
Ah, okay. So basically, you could have just gone with Nomadland the whole way, Scab, and been okay.
Apparently, I would have done better at this point. Or just as well, I think.
You know, the Oscars did something very brave and actually picking Zhao because she's completely censored in China for her non-pro-government views.
She's completely censored in China?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
The Oscars never happened in China.
Wow.
They've completely removed everything from the internet and social media and any reference to her winning the Oscars there.
Good for them. Sure, good for them. Whatever. That's not good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring anybody down.
Isn't that where the Olympics are at this year?
Hey, isn't she gonna?
Japan.
Is it Japan? Okay.
Isn't she going to direct one of the Marvel films now?
She is.
Yeah. The Eternals?
I think she did do Eternals. I think it was Eternals. I'll double check.
I can't remember.
No,
Jeff?
The reason I said that about the Olympics is because I knew it was in an Asian country. I just didn't know which one because I knew that they were on, they were off. And I was like,
God.
They're all the same. All those Asian countries.
No, they're not.
Oh,
that's not what I meant. I just don't care about the Olympics enough. So I didn't.
Chinese
Jason's
or
really
Japanese.
Okay, listen, all fuckers. I didn't know what country it was. Okay, it could have been in Russia. I just knew it was over there somewhere.
Hey, he was educated in
London's
American
in the United
geography.
States, right?
You know what? Fuck you all.
Well, there is
American
London up
geography
the road.
standards.
You know what? You can all do this thing by yourself. Best supporting actor. Let's see. We had Paul Raci for Sound of Metal. Sacha Baron Cohen. Not for Borat, but for The Trial of Chicago 7. Lakeith Stanfield. Daniel Kaluuya. How do you say that, Jeff?
Kahlua.
And,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
And Lamar Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami.
For surviving the Kardashians?
That's a different Odom altogether.
Oh, sorry.
You said Lamar, it's Leslie Odom, isn't it? Oh.
Leslie Odom Jr. is a better actor and a better basketball player, so it's okay. It's fine.
I thought you said Larry.
Larry.
That's all I heard. You did. If we go back and listen, you said Larry. Or Lamar. Sorry,
he said Lamar. He did say Lamar.
Lamar. Daniel Kaluuya won for Judas and the Black Messiah. Who did Scab pick?
He picked Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh, good job. Good job.
He was the main character in the movie. They only put him there because they wanted him to win. So, well, he's not going to win Best Actor with Anthony Hopkins there.
Fucking Anthony Hopkins. Why is that 93-year-old
so let's
winning?
put him here so we can give him the prize.
This guy can't go.
Because he was good in Get Out.
He's a good actor. I mean, just face it.
Anthony Hopkins can't go 10 minutes without taking a pee break. He is not a good actor anymore. He's done. His career's over.
Oh, my God.
We're done.
Have you seen the movie?
Now you're doing ageism.
The whole point of the movie is that he couldn't go 10 minutes without taking a pee break.
I know, and he did that horribly. He only went 9. Or he went 11. Anyways, this is the one that I was worried about. Best animated feature. Soul, Wolfwalkers, Onward, Shaun, the Sheep movie? What is that? No, it says a Shaun the Sheep movie.
Yeah, it's one of them Nick Park, Wallace and Gromit guy type movies.
And the one that should have won and was hosed, Over the Moon. Over the Moon should have won this by 10.
That was really a bad movie.
You're a bad movie.
Like, Jen watched it and she's like, this wasn't bad. And I'm like, but was it good?
Yes! It was heartbreaking. I cried. I didn't cry. I teared up.
It was like anime Japanese movie trying to be a Disney movie and then falling short of both the Disney movie and the anime film, which either one, if they had committed to either one, it would have been better. Not as good as Soul or Onward, but
I thought it was better than Onward. And I liked Onward enough, but I didn't think it was that great. Jeff, who did Scab pick?
He picked Soul.
And Soul won. I will say this. This is about the only category I saw the majority of the films. So I will say Soul, I would not have been upset if that was up for Best Picture overall. I get that it won for Best Animated, and it probably was the best animated film out there. It wasn't a kids' film that I thought, because my kids did not care for it at all.
Because your kids can't appreciate good cinema.
It wasn't really made for kids, which is fine. But it's a
and your kids can't appreciate good cinema. You should raise your kids to be better than kids.
They like The Floor is Lava, the game show. I'm hurting Jeff. Of course, my daughter doesn't like Muppets. So yeah, I pick on you, but I do agree that Soul probably should have won. Let's see here. We won't go through them all. Let's see.
The ones he picked, he also picked adapted screenplay, original screenplay, documentary feature, and international feature.
Adapted screenplay, The Father won. And which one did he pick?
He picked Nomadland.
Well, you shouldn't have gone with Nomadland. I told you, don't go with that. Original screenplay, Promising Young Woman won. What did he pick?
He picked The Trial of the Chicago 7.
And that one I was so sure on. I was so sure Aaron Sorkin would win that category. I was very shocked.
I was actually kind of surprised by that too. I didn't see him, but Aaron Sorkin's one that I thought the Oscars would go with. Let's see here. What was the other two he had?
Documentary feature.
Which one did he pick?
He picked what he said was the best movie he saw all year.
Never mind.
That was The Mole Agent.
I gotta watch this.
It was so good, and I knew that it was the longest shot.
You should have went with the best title in that area, My Octopus Teacher. That would have been.
That's what won.
Yep, that's what won.
8 thumbs up.
Octopushy.
My pusher teacher. What's the other one?
Octopushy galore.
International feature.
Who did he pick?
He picked Another Round.
And that won! Congratulations, Jeff! You're up to like 60%.
Was that a movie about a British pub?
No, it was a movie about
Danish.
a Danish pub.
Well, really, it was an interesting concept for the movie. It was there were a bunch of teachers at a high school, and one of them was teaching somebody who said that humans were born with 0.05 blood alcohol level too low. So they should drink enough so that they were exactly at 0.05 constantly. And they couldn't drink on the weekends, just during work hours and stuff. And it was a very good movie. It was very well made.
Well, that's the origins of India Pale Ale. It's so that they can drink that during working hours.
Oh,
seriously?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I thought the origins of Indian Pale Ale was so they can ship it across the seas to India.
No.
Well then, what Scab?
I'm gonna side with Jeff on that one.
Look it up.
We're a history podcast. I think
we're not going to look it up. You know we're not going to look it up.
We're a history podcast. Go with the history part.
I'm going to wait
till
Big
people
Dev's
comments
report
on
next week.
Dev will get us the correction on the Indian Pale Ale. Scab, since there wasn't a lot of... Well, I shouldn't say that. Since it was different this year because of the pandemic, the films were not in the theaters as much. You know, there was different things. Netflix took home the biggest amount of awards. Netflix films.
Tyler Perry got an award.
Yeah, for humanitarian. Is that what it was?
And he gave a very humanitarian speech, and they stopped clapping for him.
I would have said he didn't win the humanitarian award because he kept subjecting us to Medea. Once he gets rid of a Medea, then he can win that humanitarian award. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think it's been a couple of years since he's done a Medea movie. That's probably why they gave him the award.
Medea reboot. Here we come. I want to know the origins of Medea. Can
it's
we
been
do a
10
prequel?
years, no Medea movie. Here's your award.
Can we do a Medea when she was 25? I want to know the origins of this woman. Come on, let's do that.
There you go, a prequel, a Medea prequel.
It will be just as good as that Cruella de Vil one. So do you think it was better or worse this year, this Oscars? Lowest viewed Oscars, I forget it
ever.
Long time. Yeah, ever. There you go.
Of course.
Under 10 million.
Yeah.
This was the first year that I have seen every single Oscar-nominated film before the Oscars. So all 56 I was able to see. And the only reason I haven't in previous years is because it's been pretty much impossible. I'd have to go to New York, L.A., or overseas to see a lot of the international features. But now they're all streaming, so I really liked that. But, and really, I think a lot of the movies that came out that were nominated this year were better than Green Book, because that was a piece of flaming dog crap. And The Mole Agent is probably the best spy movie I've ever seen. So The Mole Agent I thought was fantastic, and Nomadland was interesting. But yeah, I can see how it didn't have quite the
appeal,
the quality of movie as previous Oscars, and I'm sure that people hadn't heard of half of these who weren't into the looking for the Oscar movies and stuff like that.
Was Nomadland better than Moonlight?
I think it was.
Okay. Was Moonlight better than La La Land?
I don't think I've seen any of these movies.
Moonlight apparently was better than La La Land because it won. And that's how we judge. It is a completely objective case. So if it wins the Oscar, it is the best.
So, Scab, thank you for this.
I mean, a mole agent was the Gary Oldman one where he goes to Russia, right?
Oh.
Was that it?
Gary Oldman's such a good actor that you never really know if he's in the movie or not. So he could have been in there.
All right. I have no idea.
Blake, let's take it from here. Jeff, Scab, we always appreciate your Oscar things. I apologize this year. I'll be honest. I forgot to almost have you on today because I completely forgot about the Oscars. Even though you were talking to me about them, I completely forgot the next day. And then I was like, oh shit. So I apologize.
So our final thing is out of 11 categories, Jeff got 5 right.
Oh, not his worst year. Not his worst year for Hobie.
So I'm less than 50%?
Less than 50%.
What is that, 43?
But since we decided to go and do 11 categories, so Jason would have a harder time doing the math than 10 categories, you got another round was the 11th movie we picked. Category.
Congratulations, Jeff. Scab. Congratulations. Jeff, give me some listener feedback. Oh, no, never mind. This is Blake's category. Blake, give me some listener feedback here, buddy.
That's right. Crinkling paper sound insert here. Now, some bomb listener feedback sponsored by Lenny's Pub in Delhi.
I couldn't read that.
Lenny's Pub, yes. There's a local pub that will not show NBA games until what? They cancel LeBron James? He's against cancel culture, but he's canceling the NBA because of LeBron. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't work. And
it's all right. Nobody's watching NBA games anyway.
Not in Cincinnati.
I'm conflicted. Yeah, I'm conflicted by this because I haven't been going to Lenny's Pub like ever anyway. So am I boycotting Lenny's Pub by still not going, or am I just doing what I was doing anyway?
Or are you boycotting the NBA because you just don't watch the NBA? It's kind of
I haven't been watching the NBA.
I've never heard of nor been to Lenny's Pub in Delhi, but he's gotten a lot of free advertising.
That's right. Good for him. I was like, okay, I still won't watch the NBA. I don't care.
And it's not a big sacrifice because nobody's watching the NBA anyway.
No. Yeah. People in Delhi, you might get 2 people that want to watch the NBA.
That's the Harlem Globetrotters they watch, not the NBA.
Oh, no. They're watching the Washington Generals.
He has a ladder. That's not allowed.
No, they're watching old Oscar Robertson, reruns.
Oh my God! In Cincinnati, people, if you're not from Cincinnati, oh my God, that's all we ever hear. If anybody ever talks about the basketball, it's always about Oscar Robertson was the greatest player ever. He could have been. I don't care.
That's because you guys were talking to my father.
Which represents basically every old guy in Cincinnati.
Yes. And Pete Rose, he was so good. Oh, my God. Pete Rose.
Dad didn't like Pete Rose, so
all of them can join fucking Anthony Hopkins on the last train to Clarksville. Jeez, old Pete, shut the hell up.
There's a little saying I like to say about Pete Rose and the people from Cincinnati. Either you're a fan of Pete Rose's or you know Pete Rose.
It's true. He's an asshole, allegedly.
Oh, no, in fact, he's a dumbass.
So, anyways, going to listener feedback.
Yeah, every once in a while he makes the news when he shows up at some baseball Little League thing, drunk and dropping F-bombs, for your 9-year-old kid.
I was shocked that he was getting divorced again. Shocked.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. Really shocked.
Good. Well, I mean, yeah. Darn. Sorry to hear that. All right. First off, hey, Scab Jeff, who do we always start off with?
Number 1 fan.
A-Pants?
Formerly known as?
7.
Can't give yourself a nickname?
Yeah.
Big D.
7.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yep.
Yeah. So, from Doug, a TV report found MTV aired Ridiculousness 113 hours of the 136 available hours in a week in January. I'm going to trust him on the math. I'm not going to do it. How much did Jason watch?
110 hours. I have it.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It's like Salacious Crumb and Chanel. So I got the schedule for MTV from April 19th through April 25th. Was that last week? Yeah. Ridiculousness was on Monday through Sunday. This is the only thing that was interrupted for. Mrs. Doubtfire. This was on Monday. Mrs. Doubtfire, Forrest Gump, Mrs. Doubtfire, and then 4 episodes of Deliciousness. Which is a spinoff of Ridiculous.
Tiffany Amberson Thiessen's, right?
Yes. Tuesday, it was How High 2, Pineapple Express, Half Baked, Dazed and Confused, and Teen Mom OG because it was 420, the weed day.
Yeah.
The only reason that it didn't play for 24 hours straight on Wednesday that week because they had to throw the challenge : double agents in there.
They're reality TV shows. They got to stop. The best part was Jim showed me a visual of it, all blocked out.
Yep.
And there's only like 2 very thin slits for videos.
Well, then Thursday they stopped it for Old School, Talladega Nights, and later on Floribama Shore. And then Friday was Talladega Nights, and somehow at like 4:30, Fresh Out live. I don't know what that is. That's the music, I guess. That's the music on Friday.
That's the music.
Saturday,
half hour of music. There you go.
Saturday they had Fresh Out playlist at 8 a.m. And then the rest of the afternoon on that Saturday, all day, from 1 o'clock until 3 a.m. that morning, Friday, next Friday, Friday after next, Friday, next Friday, Friday after next, and How High 2. I was like, okay. And then on Sunday, they showed nothing but ridiculousness. That's it. 600 episodes.
And the thing is, that show is really painful to watch.
I can't stop watching.
I wouldn't know. I don't. I know I haven't seen an entire episode.
I got sucked in because when people like to watch train wrecks, and I was watching several train wrecks. You got this middle-aged jackass wearing a ball cap, thinking he's like 18 years old again.
Do they skateboard in that show?
Skateboarding, yeah. He used to. And you got his secretary that's the most annoying laugh in the world. And then you got his DJ quote video guy that pretends he's playing videos and doing back and forth with the video stuff.
He's not the only one I like. I like Rob too.
He's the least annoying. But he's got this big controller with these big knobs on it. You're like, that's fake. That's horrible. And then they have guests on there every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Go watch when you go to dinner and you eat so much, you sometimes, after what happens after dinner and the meal, it's really funny. Roll the clips." And you're like, Jesus Christ. Did you read a fucking prompter for this shit?
I still have no idea, based on that description, what this show is about.
They show videos and they make fun of them. That's it.
Yeah, they just show before it's pre-TikTok.
Yeah.
It's basically imagine a show about TikTok viral
Video
videos.
fails. Video fails.
Yeah, video fails.
Scab's favorite show, right, Scab? Have you ever watched Ridiculousness?
I have never seen it. And besides the movies that you mentioned, I didn't know that any of those other shows existed.
Okay. Do not read the next one. Because we have
Randall Holt?
Yeah, because that's going to be for next week when Intern's back. I got one.
Randall Holt has been censored. I'm against this.
Jen Adams sent one in. Who? Jen. I was just wondering.
Who's that?
I was just wondering how Scab Jeff feels after being in a relationship with someone who has 2 floppies and 2 Oscar trophies, when he in fact has 0 of these things. Is it emasculating? Asking for a friend.
Oh, I'm glad that the Oscar trophy is still in the house. So I'm happy for that.
So
like
you
last year's
you threw her floppies
trophy.
out? Is that what you're insinuating?
No. The floppies. She
Keeps
uses
them hidden
those
from you.
I've never
Keeps them
no.
hidden from you.
I
We
don't
use
even,
those in the bedroom sometimes.
I've never even been to your Oscar party, and I got an Oscar trophy right here. Look at that. Morris Oscar Party Best Picks 2020. Hell yeah, look at that. Woo!
I brought it into the studio, and then COVID hit, and I haven't seen it since.
It's right
I could
here.
go grab 2 of those, Jason, and
It's so pretty.
But you know,
I don't want as many as you.
You know what, Scab Jeff? You do have more Hobie appearances than she does.
I do.
He'd rather have the trophy.
However, I bet she's listened to more Hobie episodes than you.
That's a push.
No, I think she
Is
only
it-
listens when he's on.
Oh,
She does only listen when I'm on, but I never listen to the ones I'm on.
Oh, well, so then she has listened to more than you.
So if she watches this one, she'll probably have listened to more because there's probably 10, 15 minutes of Winter Soldier and Falcon talk that I didn't listen to.
Go ahead, Blake. What else we got?
all right. So next we have from Josh at Grayatoni 25095.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually Josh at Great One 25095. I'm just doing my Jason impression. Catching up on the show, and Jason is talking about missing persons case. What cases are some of his quote rabbit holes unquote he goes down?
There's many,
I think we read this question 2 weeks ago.
but I wasn't here.
No. Oh, we gave an answer.
The McStay family case was one. They finally caught somebody for that. The whole family went missing. There's the Christian Smart one that they just solved. It allegedly could be the guy that walked her home on a campus of Cali Pi or what is that?
Can you say they just solved it if you have to say allegedly?
He's arrested. He hasn't been tried yet, so that's why his dad allegedly.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
That also doesn't mean it's been solved yet. It just means they have a suspect who they think they have enough evidence to convict.
The sad one is Delphia murders, the ones that took place with the two girls on the train on the bridge. That they got video of, but they never found the guy. There's Brian Schaefer, who went missing in a Columbus bar. They have video of him going in and nothing else. He's never been seen again. And then finally, the one I started getting really hooked on is Liz Barrara, Barrara, I think it is. She was shot point blank. They have video of it while she was doing a garage sale. They have video of this person. Could be a man, could be a woman. It looked like a man dressed in drag, like a big wig and that. Came up, said something to her, showed her a note, or gave her a note, and then shot her point blank 4 times and then ran off. They got the video of the truck and him, but they don't have, he's obviously covered up. But the big thing is, though, she was in like the 501 First Troops, like the Star Wars troop, I think, that dresses up and goes to hospitals and conventions and that. So
501st.
Yeah. So that one's an interesting one. That was from a couple of years ago. That was the one that I got hooked on for a long time, just recently, and went down a rabbit hole in that one. I thought I had it solved.
Yeah.
Have you been watching the Cecil Hotel documentary on Netflix?
I was bored by it.
I've only seen the first episode of it.
Yeah. I read about that. I think I really do think that she had a mental break. Is from everything I read about it, because she ended up spoilers in the water tanks up above. It was weird. Don't get me wrong. It's weird. The video.
Did you not even hear me say that I only saw the first episode?
Oh, it sounded like you were done. I mean, she wasn't.
Spoilers.
You brought it up, Jeff. You opened the door.
Well, I'd seen all the YouTube. I know that she ended up, but I don't know if they caught anybody or
they did.
Yeah. Now the missing persons cases, what's more popular is the unsolved murders. And I was listening to a show talk about why they're so popular with women and guys like Jason in touch with his feminine side.
Yes,
because they like that feeling of danger, but it's safe.
It's not
because they can listen to this, the scary stuff and be scared. But on the flip side, they know it's just
my
reenactment and talking of, and they can be safe.
I just don't like not knowing what happened. I want to know what's happened. That's my thing. My son was learning about Roanoke a couple weeks ago.
And unsolved, and it's pretty.
It's pretty straightforward. Even my son's like, so they went to the other island? Yeah, pretty much is what I'm thinking. They even left a note on a tree. Yep, okay. Just checking. And I was like, oh, yeah. So.
You could solve the mystery of Jamestown. There you go. That's it.
That's it. We're done.
They just left a message on the tree.
Just on the tree.
Well, they did.
And they went to go join another tribe.
They did. Went to get beer. Be back at 7.
Have they looked at the trees on Oak Island? Maybe that's what they need to find the treasure.
Oh, there's probably hints on the trees. They've been digging, going down. They should be looking up.
Hey, Daryl, the treasure's in the tree right above us. Oh, it says treasure and points an arrow straight up to the tree. Huh, maybe we should look up there.
If that damn Aussie guy with his metal detector always looking at the ground, they looked up every once in a while. Come on.
G'day, mate. Where's the shrimp on the bobby? Give me that shrimp.
Oh, that's a nice bubble.
You from Louisiana and old? What was that? Mm-hmm. What else you got?
Next, insert porn music here for voiceover.
Yeah, tell me how you like it. Yeah. Give it to me. Give it to me. Yay.
Or Jason reading erotica. From Nick. Oh, right. Been a while, Nick. Been a long refractory period. But now he's up and ready to go. How are the Reds? going to do this year, Jeffy? Hashtag penis in Jeff's mouth.
Call me Gold Dust.
You ruin everything, Jason. You know this.
Gold Dust.
You know, when Nick is sending in a listener feedback question, he has to know ahead of time that there's going to be more than multiple Jeffs on a podcast.
Jeff, now, how do you think they're going to do?
Oh, they're going to win the World Series.
Okay.
I say that at the beginning of every season.
I would have said yes until they had that 7-game losing streak. That was rough.
Well, besides that,
okay.
I mean, hashtag the eternal optimist.
All right, we'll call it a tie.
All right, what about the other Jeff?
Yeah, Scab, what do you think about the Reds this year?
Whose penis is in Jeff's mouth?
He didn't say whose.
Well, but the hashtag assumes that some Jeff has some penis in their mouth, and I'm not sure.
Yeah,
so is it
yours?
Nick's?
It's Anthony Hopkins.
The penis. We don't know. The penis or the mouth? We don't know.
See, that's the thing is you have to play Guess Who's in My Mouth, so we don't know whose penis it is.
I know, Anthony Hopkins. What do you got, Scab? What are the Reds going to do this year?
They're going to win 96.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Very optimistic.
Wow.
Just this year they're going to win 96 games or like a combined over 2 years?
Just this year.
Okay.
So after game 1 of 162, they fired David Bell.
Yes.
They're
done.
Installed.
They're going to bring Buddy Bell in.
I started to fire David Bell before game 1, so.
Thanks, Marvin Lewis. What else?
I'm just glad that 96 is a number in between the minimum amount of games they can win and the maximum amount of games they can win.
Well, the minimum they can win is 0.
So they haven't
already
won
beat
any
that.
yet this year?
Oh, so far, okay. The minimum they can win is, 11? I don't know.
11? I guess.
Is that what they have now?
That's right. My bad. Blake, wrap this sucker up.
From best actor in a listener feedback series question goes to Professor Number 1 and Doctor Number 1. What food would Jason like to lick off my body?
Whipped cream. Mac and cheese.
With a cherry.
Not the mac and cheese with the powder from last week. We learned don't eat that powder.
Not the Kraft?
No, not the, no. But knowing what Doctor Number 1 looks like, I think Jason would pick sour cream and onion potato chip dip. You would lick that off of him.
I wouldn't eat that by itself.
Match the body smell.
You violate it. I feel like Anthony Hopkins just stole my Oscar. Nasty. Jeff, give me a News of the Geek. We're going to do Face Off next week when when Brian's here, because he's a big fan of this. Can you give me a top? I don't even know what I'm doing. News of the Geek. Can you give me a music for that?
It's time for News of the Geek.
Well, that was worthless. Ugh.
You asked for it.
Comic book writer Ed Brubaker, who I really like, resurrected Bucky during his Captain America run in 2005 alongside artist Steve Epting, transforming Steve Rogers' whiny sidekick into an assassin called the Winter Soldier. The status quo change has influenced several Marvel Studios films and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. Brubaker, shocking, a comic book writer, remains unhappy with how he's been treated from a financial standpoint over his most famous creation. He was on the Fat Man Beyond podcast, and he said he took issue with the lack of compensation he's received. Quote, I'm really happy for Sebastian Stan, who I think is both a great guy and the perfect Bucky and Winter Soldier. I'm glad to see him getting more screen time finally. Also, Anthony Mackie is amazing as the Falcon. Everyone at the Marvel Studios that I've met, all the way up to Kevin Feige, has been nothing but kind to me. But at the same time, for the most part, all Steve Epton and I have gotten for creating the Winter Soldier and a storyline is a thanks here or a thanks there. And over the years, that's become harder and harder to live with. Well, you did sign a contract with Marvel. They own the creations.
Yeah, well, how about, if you don't like it, then stop creating things for Marvel.
Or just go to Image. But
if you didn't make it for Marvel, then nobody would ever have heard of it. So I don't like the idea of somebody creating something that becomes huge and then getting no compensation for it.
Well, he did. He got paid.
He got his salary for when he worked there.
This is
but it says that he makes more on his SAG residuals.
He does
than he did for making one of the big Avengers comic book characters that now everybody's heard of.
Writers and artists are paid for the work they do at the time, but do not receive residuals or future payments for characters or concepts they created. That's because they, quote, work for hire, and when and if those characters are brought to TV or film, they generally aren't compensated. He explained that he has turned down thank you credits in the past because of the paltry amount of money offered, and actually makes more money from SAG residuals for his cameo in the Winter Soldier movie than he has for creating the character for Marvel Comics. Quote, I remember sitting in that movie and just remembering that Jack Kirby also were growing in my stomach, going, this is what it felt like, kid. Brubaker added, when I see ads for the Falcon and Winter Soldier, it actually makes me feel sick to my stomach. I get it, but that's part of the deal that you had. Sorry. I love it.
I disagree. I think that you should, if you make something like that, you should get some kind of legitimate...
I'll throw this out to you. The character of Bucky was around before Brubaker was ever born.
He just did a different twist.
Turned him into a different, what do you call it? He took an existing character and
did a different storyline.
Updated him to the so his creation was something that's already been out.
You could say the same thing. Okay. You could say the same thing, Jeff, for Jason Todd, the second Robin in Batman. He became the Red Hood. They brought him back, and if the Red Hood is now popular in cartoons, DC cartoons. That guy's not bitching right now, right? It
probably is. Character. They're all bitching.
Oh, that's true. Get that Alan Moore on it. Get Alan Moore. He'll talk about it. I got wizards in my beard. I get it.
So is he not making the residuals because he took an existing character and just
no, he's not making the residuals.
Gave him a metal arm, or is it?
Oh, did he sign away his rights? I mean,
he did when he signed the contract.
When you sign a contract, you're signing a work for hire contract and the stuff you're doing. I mean, hell, it's like scientists working for drug companies.
Pfizer.
They're getting paid.
Working on the COVID. Yeah, working on the COVID vaccine.
You get paid to do that. If your discovery is, something that they capitalize on, they have the patents and the rights. I mean, that's capitalism for you.
But you would also expect that he gets a nice fat bonus.
Yeah, I would suspect that those people would get a bonus.
They're handsomely paid. They make good money, where I don't think comic book artists and writers necessarily make good money off the bat.
So what you're saying is, if you're going into comic book artistry, you need to be a sole proprietor.
That's why
pretty much.
That's why
Image formed in the 90s.
And there's a lot of independent comic books now. That's why indie comics is so big.
Yeah.
Like go to Source Point Press. Anyways.
Yeah, go to Source Point Press. And if they make a superhero movie out of one of those comic books, the guy that created it is going to get all the money.
Like Rodden.
But instead, he went to go work for a big, Marvel, corporation.
Go to Marvel or DC.
He agreed to get paid on a, per issue basis, and
But if you were
with that, he
gets
to create. But with that, he got to create, something awesome or run with something awesome, and got compensated for it and acknowledged for it and credited for it.
Let's think about this. Brubaker, who's a great writer, I love Ed Brubaker, but that storyline propelled him into the top echelon of comic book writers now. So
which got him more money.
Up. His comic expo goes up. Everything he does now because of that series, he makes more money at the conventions. He makes more money if they commission him to write a series. If Marvel or DC makes an offer, he's in theory going to be making more because he's now popular.
Yeah, we're paying you an exposure, damn it.
And we're giving him free pub right now.
I'm not saying that he shouldn't get something, but at the same time, you did sign this contract. But
it gave him opportunities to make more money.
Yep.
And capitalize on it.
I'll give them the slight benefit. Nowadays, they at least will give you created by credit, whether it's not monetary attached to it.
Yeah.
But like in the old days, they wouldn't even give you credit for coming up with
sorry, Bill
the
Finger.
characters.
Sorry, Bill Finger.
Yeah. Bill Finger did get credited. Oh, no. Kane got all the credit.
Let's see.
Well, then again, half the things Stan Lee created, he created with somebody, but they all go in Stan Lee's
name. Let's see. This might be my favorite story, and I know Brian's not here this week, but we still have to do it. Per Extra TV, extra. Dom Toretto is getting a brother, Jacob, with a K, in Fast and Furious 9 to be played by John Cena. It's John Cena. Dun, dun, dun. And Vin Diesel described the surreal way that Cena got the role. On the initial process of casting the role, this is awesome.
Surreal way.
I met with John. Hold on. Let me get the Vin Diesel voice going. I'm Vin Diesel. I met with John when we had started talking about the brother role way early on. When it came time to cast, that became a riddle that was so hard to answer. Every actor was on the table. Every actor was thought about. Because I'm multicultural, every single actor could be my brother. Everybody. You are my brother. Laughs. Ha ha ha. No, could be. You are my brother. We're family. Sorry. So to carefully address the overall mythology, because there will be answers in Fast 10 that will even explain or mystify you more. Who the fuck is mystified by
Jason.
F9?
Jason, did you get Vin Diesel to read this for us?
I'm not done yet. Hey, Vin.
Oh,
Vin.
Wait, that was Vin Diesel? Oh, I'm sorry. That's Sylvester Stallone.
I'm Vin.
I thought that was Vin Diesel, man. That was Vin Diesel.
Hey, Blake, I'm Vin Diesel. How you doing, man?
Oh my! Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
I could do a Vin Diesel.
Hey, shut up over there. Shut up. I'm the only Vin Diesel. Me family.
I am Groot.
No. Shut up. That's Bradley Cooper. Let's see. On casting Cena as Jacob with a K, the moment it happened in 2 seconds. The idea of John Cena came up. I had a dojo, a shrine of a Dom shrine. Dom shrine? Dom shrine?
Vin, what's a Dom shrine?
Well, where I go and get into character, I get into that Dom state of mind. It had all that fast memorabilia. It had weights, and it was a training center for combat to get ready for the movie. He came in one day to meet me. I gotta tell you, it sounded crazy at the time, and it probably still sounds crazy. I had felt, because I like to be in tune, I had felt that Paul Walker, had sent him into that shrine, and I didn't question at all. And I said, that's the brother. Brother!
Yeah, I'm about to say, you're sounding like
Paul Walker sent
Hulk
John
Hogan
Cena.
now.
Paul Walker sent John Cena. Oh, my God. I can't with this fucking thing. I mean, come on. Good for you, Dom. Good for you, Vin. But jeez, hey man, shut up.
I can't believe you actually got that soundbite from Vin Diesel.
I did.
So
it was
cool.
pretty good. It was good. It was cool. Sure. So John Cena has, I don't know. God, he has spiritual powers, I guess.
He has spirit fingers? What?
Sure.
I love how he's talking about, the way I am so cool and so multicultural. Everybody can be my brother.
You're my brother. You're my brother. Brother. Oh, yeah.
Well, these are actual quotes from Vin Diesel in an interview.
Yes.
I say that you take the actual quotes and then you interlace it in with your impression that you just did, and I don't think that we'd be able to tell the difference. I think it would just flow from line to line exactly how.
I don't know what you're talking about, Skyball. I'm Vin Diesel. I'm here. I got to go. I'm making Fast 10, and I'm doing the reboot, Fast 1. So I'll see you later.
Hey, Vin Diesel, when you play Dungeons and Dragons, do you go for the dungeon first or the dragon?
I'm back. I heard your question. I go for the dungeon first. Fuck those dragons. I'm stronger than them. I go into my dungeon shrine. It's where I get into character. And I just get there, and I go, if I'm a tree ent, if I'm an ent, which type of ent am I going to be? Am I a tree beard? I don't know if I'm tree beard. I don't know. But then I take them down. I'm the dungeon master. I'm the dungeon slayer. I gotta go.
All right. I'm going to throw this out there just because you brought up the Vin Diesel D&D connection. I think it was Joe Manganiello was being interviewed by, I think it was Colbert, and the D&D came up, and Colbert's like, oh yeah, like a bunch of the actors or whatever, coming out as D&D players, and it's like, oh, Vin Diesel, and Joe Manganiello is like, really, Vin Diesel? He might say it, but does he really? Like, he's being called out for not really being a D&D player.
Oh, I'm Vin Diesel. I heard your question. Joe Magling, blah, blah, Joe Masturbation, he can die. I'm just saying right now. I'm the true guy. I'm an ent. I'm a little person. What do you call them? Lives under the bridge. Those guys. I'm one of those guys.
Actually, Vin Diesel did write a Hollywood. Well, I'm going to say a cameo in the History of D&D book, where he describes his first D&D character was a witch hunter, and how he channeled that D&D character into that movie, The Last Witch Hunter or whatever it was. And I gotta say, I watched 10 minutes of that movie and I went, "Your character sucks."
Blake, I'm going to have to. I'll be honest. I'm going to have to correct you on that. That piece was actually written by Joe Manganiello. I just kind of put my name on it. I'll be honest.
You used Joe to ghostwrite it for you?
I did. Probably not my. That's actually probably my best writing, to be honest. But that was when I was.
The writing you stole from someone else.
I didn't steal it. Okay, hey, you're my brother. I gotta go. Gotta go make Fast 10. You know what? You never know who's going to stop by. It's kind of like the Cincinnati Comic Expo, September 17th through the 19th. You don't know who's going to stop by. Hobie will be there. We'll be doing trivia tables. We'll be doing the stage. We'll be doing everything. And we also...
We'll probably sign autographs, too.
We will be. Vin Diesel might be there. Harrison Ford might be there. Anthony Hopkins won't be. He'll be dead. Let's see. We'll have John Cena might be there. Could be. Paul Walker could be there. We don't know.
He won't be.
No, Paul Walker's brother.
As Blake might be there.
Blake won't be there. But get your tickets at the Cincinnati Comic Expo, Duke Energy Convention Center, September 17th through the 19th. It's a good time. We'll be getting more information sooner than later. News will be coming fast and furious.
I like what you did there.
Yep. So September 17th through the 19th. And we appreciate that. Jeff, box office news and world report with Vin Diesel. Yay!
All right, the box office news from April 23rd, 2021 to April 25th, 2021. Number one at the box office, Mortal Kombat! Made $22.5 million in its opening weekend on a budget of $55 million.
My only question is the soundtrack for this Mortal Kombat good or worse than the original Mortal Kombat soundtrack?
Worse.
I don't remember anything about the soundtrack. Did they even have... I mean, they didn't have like any pop songs or something like the original Mortal Kombat soundtrack, right?
No. Has anybody seen
Wasn't the original all techno?
Yeah, it's pretty much techno.
Oh, techno sucks.
Has anyone seen this movie?
I did.
Oh, did you go to the movies?
We went Sunday afternoon.
What was your thoughts?
My thought was it was better than I expected it to be.
Uh-huh.
The action was cool.
Yep.
The
acting was not good. Cole, the new guy, and Sonya were both annoying. Jax, I couldn't get over his tiny hands because it looked like Kristen Wiig's character from Saturday Night Live.
I didn't think about that. But yes.
That's creeped me out. I'm like, is he bagging groceries at Target? I don't know what he's doing. It was not good, but it was fun. I thought it was. I didn't like that there was no tournament. That was the one thing I didn't like.
That's the sequel. Come on.
It is.
Did you say turnip mint?
Yes, a turnip. There was a turnip mint. Shut up, Blake. Hey, man, leave him alone, Blake. So the fight scenes were great. I agree with you, Jeff. They were really good. It was a hot mess, though. I don't know what was going on. The graphics, the CGI was
Do you really need to know what's going on in the plot of a Mortal Kombat movie?
No, but there was some bad, cheesy acting, I thought. But I like the Sub-Zero.
You're going there to watch the video game characters fight, just like you only watched, Ape versus Big Reptile, King Kong against Godzilla, just to watch the monsters fight.
It was like a video. It was like one of their version of the video games put to the screen. So I give you that. But yeah, it was okay. So I'll just go with that. Not to insult anyone. Go for the action scenes, like Jeff says.
If you're willing to pay money to watch action scenes, do it.
Or watch on HBO Max.
Well, I was just about to say, I probably wouldn't watch it on the small screen because you just don't get the same effect. So I wouldn't bother watching it at home.
I liked I think it was Lun Kang's when he killed that pterodactyl lady. I like that.
Yeah, that was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right. How about special effects comparison? Which movie's better? Because I heard the special effects were kind of disappointing in this.
They weren't great, but they were better.
They were better than the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 years later, bad special effects are still better than good special effects 20 years ago.
What else we got, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. We're doing box office. We have Demon Slayer the movie, Mugen Train. Made $19.5 million in its opening weekend on an unknown budget.
Big surprise.
The hell is it?
I never heard of this before.
Anime. It's made 400 and something million worldwide. So, it just came to the States. I had no idea what it was, but you know what? Good for the box office, right?
Yeah, get $19.5 million for a movie that's not even necessarily being publicized. Yeah. God, I'm feeling like Jason.
Thank you.
Number 3, we've got Monster vs. Ape, made $4.2 million, a total of $86.6 million on a $160 million budget.
Still, they're only at 50%.
Worldwide, they're way over it.
Oh.
Nobody made $1.9 million this week for a total of $22 million on a $16 million budget. So go Bob Odenkirk.
I do too. I can see that.
They made their money back.
And then some.
And Raya and the Last Dragon made $1.7 million, a total of $40 million on a $140 million budget.
The new Croods 2 version.
That's a big loss.
It's just going to be number 5 for the next 18 weeks. So they get their money.
Did the Croods 2 fall out of the top 10?
Yes. The top 10? I'll double check on that. I'm not sure if they did.
I think they were at 10 2 weeks ago when I looked those up.
Hold on. I can get it for you here. Let me see here.
Okay.
Croods 2 was number 12. Made $202,000. It's up to $57 million. So there you go.
All right. Upcoming April 30th of 2021. That'll be this upcoming Friday. Mm-hmm. We have The Resort.
Insurance worker C.C. Baxter lends his Upper West Side apartment to company bosses to use for affairs. When his manager begins using Baxter's apartment in exchange for promoting him, Baxter is disappointed to learn that the mistress is the elevator girl at work who Baxter is interested in himself.
Oh, that sounds disappointing. Also coming out, we have Separation.
Francis and Robert DeFranci, a middle-aged couple living in New York City, decide to separate. Their dislike for each other often results in hilarious situations. Starring Thomas Hayden Church and Molly Shannon. And Talia Balsamo. There you go.
I think I'll pass.
Okay.
Also coming out, we have 4 Good Days.
Career-driven magazine editor Robin is on a week-long vacation getaway with her boyfriend, Martin. A work assignment in neighboring Tahiti requires Robin to hire a cargo plane piloted by Quinn Harris. But when a powerful storm forces Quinn to make an emergency landing on a deserted island, the pair learn they must set aside their differences.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Isn't that the same plot as 6 Days and 7 Nights, the Harrison Ford movie?
With Anne Hesh?
Yeah, but they don't have a full week. They only got 4 days.
They only got 4 good days on this one. They don't. Also, we have Cliff Walkers.
Hold on. When climbing in the valley, siblings lose their father in a mountain climbing accident. After years later, they come back and they join the Climbers Association to save people from the same situations. That's really bad.
Is that a documentary?
I don't know.
Sounds like it might be an okay documentary.
Yeah.
A fictional piece. It sounds like they're reaching at straws.
Yep.
And we also have Limbo, a movie of everyone's favorite dance.
A young Syrian musician and other refugees seek asylum on a remote Scottish island. Stars Lewis Gribben, Cameron Fulton, and Sidisi Babette Newsden.
Oh, Sidisi Babette Newsden. He's one of my favorites.
It's a woman.
Okay, she's one of my favorites.
So there you go. There's your movies. Somebody want to do me top 5 music here? Nope, good. Okay, top 5. This week is top 5. It's a simple one. Top 5 movie genres. So just what type of movie genres you like the best? Let's see here. Scab, you can go first.
My number 5 is caper movies, like the heist movies, like
like Tower Heist.
I was thinking more like the Ocean's 11.
Oh, not 12.
I really like those. I know that I shouldn't, but I do. I really enjoy them.
There's nothing wrong with those. Those are good ones. Like Tower Heist. I just saw that a couple months ago. It was terrible.
Jeff, what's your number 5?
My number 5, I've got spoof movies.
Oh, like Scary Movie 3?
No, more like Airplane or Mel Brooks movies, things like that, where you
Meet the Spartans?
No, not Meet the Spartans.
Dracula Dead and Loving It?
I'm not granted that. Oh, God.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights?
Yeah. I didn't say everything in the genre was good, but
you're doing really good here, Jeff.
Or
you liked it enough.
Or Spaceballs and High Anxiety. Yeah, those are all great spoofs, and even the first Scary Movie was good.
Yeah, okay. You like the Mel Brooks spoofs of genres.
Well, not all of Mel Brooks's are good because Robin Hood Men in Tights was a piece of steaming crap, and it was better. And it was better than Dracula Dead and Loving It.
He liked
that's a lot of range.
Jeff likes the Starving Games, Super Fast,
no.
Holmes and Watson, the Hungover Games,
Slow and Laborious 9,
Dance Flick. Oh God, I forgot about Dance Flick. I think we watched that.
I don't remember Dance Flick.
Maybe Vampires Suck. Jeez, oh, Pete, they're awful. Anyways,
yeah. Oh, there's some bad ones, but when they're done right, they're great.
My number 5 is sci-fi films. I just like the sci-fi films.
No shit.
So, there you go.
That's my number 3.
By sci-fi, do you mean outer space films, or do you actually mean movies with science in them?
Here we go. I can't.
I'm asking.
I had sci-fi and epic space operas.
There you go. I'm with Blake on this one. Epic.
Yeah, so you took my number 3.
But I'm just saying, like, If it's a science fiction movie but doesn't take place in space, are you counting that as what you like?
If it takes place in space, it's fine. If not, it could be like Logan's Run down here on
or Blade Runner.
Yeah. Did you
Mad Max? Would Mad Max count as sci-fi?
I think so. Action sci-fi.
I don't know what science there.
Because
it's a dystopian.
No technology more than what we currently have.
Ooh.
It's dystopian though, like from the future.
They're not advancing any sort of scientific theory in the movie.
Our good friend Michael Liao has a thing up today about what part of the world or what part of the timeline we are in based on movies and that. And we're between what was it? Blade Runner and Soylent Green. Children of Men is after that, so good for us. We're in a really good timeline right now. Really good time era. Blake, what's your number 5?
My number 5 was a pretty easy one. It's I like a movie with a great plot twist.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's a good one.
As long as the plot twist makes sense.
So, like The Village.
Not like that Fantasy Island plot twist on a plot twist on a plot twist bullshit.
So like
you can only have one plot twist.
So like The Village, right?
Yeah, I like that. That was kind of a good plot twist.
I actually did like that.
Because you think it's a, colonial frontier.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out to be modern day.
I actually liked the movie better before the plot twist.
Yeah, I like the plot twist.
It depends. Some of M. Night Shyamalan's plot twists are good.
It's better than Lady in the Water.
Well,
that movie.
So, like the plot twist at the end of Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
That was a good plot twist.
Shrubbery. Blake, what's your number 4?
Number 4, I almost made this number 5 because it's really hard to do a good fantasy adventure movie. It is really hard for a good fantasy movie without being immediately classified as a B.
Marlon Wayans did a good job in D&D.
No, he didn't.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Like I said, the fantasy movie coming out with the future D&D movie, which, I can talk 2 hours on that, but it's really hard. Like the first Conan was really good, but then that second Conan with Schwarzenegger was really horrible.
How about
but it was still watchable. But it was okay with Wilt Chamberlain. And then the Conan remake was just atrocious.
Or Grace Jones. And then Grace Jones and James Earl Jones and
too many Joneses.
So Blake, looking back now, you've had many years. The Hobbit movies, not the Lord of the Rings, but the Hobbit movies, are those good or bad films? I think we killed him.
Neutral.
Okay.
I'll watch them because I like fantasy and I like Tolkien. And I know what Jackson was trying to go for. Mm-hmm. But I just rewatched, with in the house here with some of the fam, Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers. And of course, as soon as I saw it, I had to stop and watch and, give up 2.5 hours of my weekend for each episode twice. When they went full animation on the orcs and everything in The Hobbit, it really took away, it's like going, it was like almost, I would rather see the live action enemies, live action, goblins and orcs, for example, than, total CGI bullshit. Almost kind of like he almost did it in a Lucasian. Can I use that word?
Yep.
Lucasian way with too much blue screen, with the actors in front of too much blue screen. Mm-hmm. And it felt much more lifeless than the real sets and real actors.
Gotcha.
So that's my 2-hour summary there.
And I will say fantasy was my number 2.
Oh. Number 4 for me is this is kind of broad, but I like.
Well, Actually, Jeff, I expect all of us to have a lot of. That was my number. What that somebody took.
Number 4 is mysteries, but detectives, like detective mysteries. I like those type of genres because that's a subgenre of a genre. But
like Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
I was thinking more that
You mean that spoof? Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid?
No, because then that would be in the spoofs that Jeff has.
Good point.
So, Jeff, what's your number 4?
Mystery movies is what I have number 4. Specifically, your adaptations of Agatha Christie stuff. I really like that type of stuff. Knives Out, love that movie, and so that type of mystery, and even ones that are more thrilleries, I kind of can get into too.
Or video of us at the Comic Expo opening up a mystery box. Those are pretty cool genres.
Yes, that is a great movie. Yeah, I could see people dropping $10 to watch that.
Mystery box, mystery box. What's inside the mystery box? Penis. Scab, what's your number 4?
How can I follow that? My number 4 is movies that kind of center around an actual historical event. Like, not necessarily the whole thing is based on the historic event, but the historic event actually happens within the span of the movie.
Like 300?
Pompeii?
Yeah, 300 would classify in that. Like San Andreas, that was based on a true story, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
one time there was an
1929
earthquake.
San Francisco earthquake.
But I was thinking, like, I don't even remember which ones I had in mind when I was thinking it, but like sometimes I get like choked up when it comes to those actual historic events, like you're actually seeing something that mattered in history, like just like. What was it that just came up? The one about the electricity wars, where they had the World's Fair in 1893 just in the background in one scene, and it kind of chokes you up a little bit. Like that might be what it felt like or looked like, and I like that feeling.
Okay, what's your number 3?
Zombie movies.
Zombies.
Some of them can be terrible, but the terrible ones still have camp value, and the good ones are some of the best movies out there, like the original Dawn of the Dead, 28 Days Later. Those are very.
You meant the remake of Dawn of the Dead, right?
Yeah, that's what we meant.
Yeah.
I did not.
Jeff, what's your number 3?
That would be one of the spoof movies that Jeff was talking about.
Zombie baby.
Zombievers?
Yes, Zombiever. What do you got, Jeff?
I've got dark comedies.
Oh, okay.
The things, Heathers, from the 80s is a great example. Pretty much Coen brother movies.
What We Do in the Shadows.
I wouldn't call that what I mean by dark comedies. Just because you're in the shadows, it's dark. Oh, I love What We Do in the Shadows, but
they kill people. They actually will kill people, but it's a comedy.
Oh, dark comedy doesn't mean you have to kill people.
Well, but it's dark because there's death and
it makes
stuff.
fun
but they do it lightheartedly, so that's no. That isn't what I mean. That just because people die or they kill people doesn't make it's the slightly twisted, mostly stuff you don't even necessarily laugh out loud on because you're watching. Yeah. And you're just like, oh, interesting. Yeah. But Coen brothers, Fargo is a great example.
Number 3 for me is sports movies, especially ones that are kind of comedic. The Replacements. Love The Replacements. Miracle. That's not comedic, but I love Miracle. Probably one of my favorite ones. Major League. Not 3. Those movies, like... I love a good underdog story. What's that?
Like Bring It On.
Bring It On. You know what? I love Bring It On. I really do. I really do. I watched that the other week.
Cheerleading competition is a sport.
It is.
This is not a democracy. It's a cheerocracy.
Those are spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. Number 3 for you, Blake.
Well, you already guessed it, and I also helped you clarify yours in regards to
the
sci-fi and/or epic space operas. But since this is Hobie and I can do whatever I want, I'm replacing my number 3 with mockumentary.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes, you guys inspired me.
Yeah.
This is Spinal Tap.
Yes, Best in Show.
Best in Show. Hey, Blake, you ever think about putting a pipe in a Hattleneck dog? You know? Love it.
Yeah. So, mockumentary.
What's your number 2?
My number 2, Jeff was talking about zombie movies and horror movies. I don't like horror slasher films, but I love more of terror of the mind, the more of the psychological horror thriller.
12 Monkeys.
Yeah. Well, kind of. That you're almost bleeding into my number 1, but what I'm talking about is like, for example, the Haunting of
Hill House.
Haunting of Hill House, for example, until the ending. But the pure, suspense and psychological terror and thriller, because a lot of what you think is there is a lot more scarier than the blood and gore than some of that stuff.
Okay.
Although mentioning 12 Monkeys, I would say that I would include like Terry Gilliam movies in my dark comedies too.
Yeah, but it kind of bleeds in my number 1, and when I do my number 1, I think you'll agree.
My number 2 is easy. Superhero films. They're enjoyable. I really like them.
Yeah,
I can sit down,
of course.
I can put a Marvel movie in, enjoy it, have a good time. Simple but efficient. Superhero.
Should be on my list because that's pretty much the only type of movie I've pretty much seen in the last 10 years.
I left that off my list on purpose because I knew we should all have it technically.
What's your number 2, Jeff?
My number 2 was high fantasy, and I'm hobbying that with mockumentaries too.
Okay,
I like that.
Good one. Scab number 2.
My number 2 is actual documentaries. Like more recently, I've been watching a lot of them, and and a lot of them can be real good because they have that sense that, hey, this is actually really something that happened. Like, especially when I saw Icarus for the first time, and it's like, oh, you think that this is a stupid documentary about trying to prove that doping, you can get away with doping during bike races or whatever. And then suddenly Putin's trying to kill him, and then everything just goes off the rails in this documentary. And it's like I have my phone in my hand while I'm watching it. Like, I can't look up what happens at the end. And I don't have that with a lot of the real movies. Like, I could always look up what happens at the end of a real movie, but with the documentaries, it's like, oh, this is real, and I don't know what's going to happen here.
My wife and I did that with Free Solo, the rock climber, and we're like, does he die? And my wife's like, he's got to die, right? He's got to die. I was like, I don't know. Does he die? I was like, can we look this up? Because if he dies, I don't want to see that on video, like in the movie. And she's like, no, we can't look it up. I was like, but if he dies, I don't want to see it. And she's like, well, we're going to suck it up. We're going to watch it. It's like, damn it. Which was a great one. That was a good one, Jeff. That was a good one. What's your number 1? Please tell me French New Wave. Please. French New Wave. French New Wave.
I'm not sure that's a genre.
Oh, it is.
So I went, if it's a genre, it's French New Wave for sure. But my number 1 is Western.
That's my number 1, Jeff. Good job.
I really like the Western genre. I really like the Akira Kurosawa movies. I like the Sergio Leone spaghetti westerns. I like most of those.
I like the Western movies when they don't actually take place in the American West. Like, they get the feel, but they're taking place at some other time.
Like The Mandalorian.
Like The Mandalorian.
Star Wars New Hope.
Yeah, that one.
Jeff, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is absurd comedies.
Oh, absurd.
Yeah, like Monty Python and Clue, the movie.
Let us in.
Let us out.
Jeff? Why'd your car stop?
It was scared. But yeah, those are the comedies that just make you laugh out of nowhere for what doesn't seem to be like the laugh out of nowhere where you don't see it coming. But it's better if it afterwards you're like, oh, that's clever. They cleverly did it.
Like Miss March.
No, not like Miss March. That was one of the worst movies I ever saw.
And number one for me was Westerns. Blake, what's your number one?
Now, my number one kind of led into it with 12 Monkeys. I love the unreliable narrator.
Yep.
You know, like Brazil. You know, you hit on it when you were talking about Python. What's his name? Terry Gilliam. You know, movies, for example, would be a good one. I like that. I like it because you're always left guessing. It's like, is this legit? Is this actually real? Is this in his fantasy? Is this real? Is it, you know, when they blur the lines an awful lot like that?
So you know what you would really like?
What?
The Father.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Ooh.
That's what it's about. It's about the it's from the point of view of an Alzheimer's patient, and you don't know if what he's seeing is real or not.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, maybe I should give it a try.
Honorable mentions real quick. I had documentaries and mockumentaries because you guys reminded me. Let's see here. We had some listener feedback. Brian, he had rom-coms. A funny rom-com like music and lyrics. I'm down with that.
Music and lyrics was a good one.
I love
Down with Love.
Down
with Love could fall under spoof, so I don't even get it.
1980s action films, superhero films. This is a good one. Swashbuckling, like Robin Hood or Pirates. And number one for you, Jeff, space opera. There you go.
Swashbuckler. Mm-hmm.
Doctor Number One, you can go to hell.
You know, a good movie for swashbuckling movies is a movie called Swashbuckler, believe it or not.
Oh, I was thinking of the Gina Davis one.
Not that one.
Cutthroat Island.
Cutthroat Island. Crap. Doctor Number One says, number 5, Chartreuse. Charcuterie. What is that, Jeff?
I'll let you finish the list, then I'll tell you.
Number 4, charcuterie. Number 3, epidemiologist. Scab, he just puts words out there so I can't say them because I can't. Number 2, porn. Porn.
Thought about putting porn on my list.
Number 1, charcuterie. What is it, Jeff?
Charcuterie?
I came close.
We're talking about porn, but then there's so many subgenres of porn and how specifically you have to get.
Correct.
And sausage.
Yep.
Meat.
Correct.
And cheese.
Niecy. We love Niecy.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't want to. Number 5 for her, historical films, animation, romantic comedy, psychological thrillers, and sci-fi. Kevin at Since the Explorer had Christmas, minus Die Hard because it's an action film. Thank you. 80s and 90s teen movies, historical periods. Number 2, spy movies. And number 1, comic book movies. So there you go.
Comic movies like Ghost World.
Yes.
Or movies about comic book stores.
Yes.
Comic Book Man? The movie?
Comic book man. Scab Jeff, thanks for being on this week. We appreciate it. Thanks for filling in. Thanks for talking about Oscars.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't listen next week when we talk about you.
Yes.
Is that how it works? You always talk about me the week after I'm on?
We always talk about you. Every single episode. Every episode.
You criticize how I did on the week before?
Yes.
So maybe I will start listening.
I think there's you can't see it on Jason's camera, but I think we have a board where we grade you each and every time you're on.
That was
What's my average score?
3.
0.
B minus.
It's a very odd range of scores. Bad idea of the week, number 291, giving an 83-year-old man a Best Actor award when he doesn't deserve it. Fuck you, Anthony Hopkins.
When he doesn't deserve it, that is a bad idea. But Anthony Hopkins deserved it, so it doesn't fit.
Jeff, give me your titles for the show.
My titles, I've got Piece of Flaming Dog Crap.
Okay.
Look Up Every Once in a While. A Dom Shrine.
I had that.
Joe Masturbation.
Nope.
You're My Brother, Brother. Turnip Mint. And Too Many Joneses.
I like You're My Brother, Brother. I have Too Much Blue Screen. A Dom Shrine. Dom is Here. And a shoe salesman and a coach.
I had Coach and a shoe salesman. Just to kind of match with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yep. And then I had No Medea Humanitarian Award. Last Train to Clarksville. Are you from Louisiana and old? I'm not.
Oh, that was Blake's impression.
Guess who's in my mouth?
Nope.
I would eat that by itself. I wouldn't eat that by itself. Your character sucks. And did you say turnip mint?
I like Your Character Sucks. I like that one, and I also like the shoe salesman one. What did you say?
Coach and the shoe salesman.
Coach and the shoe salesman. Jeff,
like
now what do you like?
I did like Coach and the Shoe Salesman.
Okay, we're doing it.
Or a Dom Shrine.
We're doing Coach and the shoe salesman. Okay, well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back next week, and Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets. There's a history, not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. History of bad ideas. Podcast.
You are listening to a Hobie.